In 1990, I was 5 years old, and the city of Plainfield had about 4,500 people living in it. Even though I grew up down the road in Shorewood, I probably spent just as much time here as I did there because my grandmother lived in town, and that's my mom's mom, of course, and we had to go visit Grandma. Now this burgeoning small town has almost 45,000 people living in it, and one of the backbones to this place is its amazing local food industry. I'm sitting down with the mayor of Plainfield, John F. Argoudelis, and we're having some lunch at one of the best local spots in town, Moe Joe's. Today is a dive into Mayor Argoudelis' newer tenure here as the mayor of Plainfield, and we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of the local food industry for smaller communities. This is Now We're Cooking. So, thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
So you were elected the mayor of Plainfield in April of 2021.
Yes.
And before that, I know you went to college at U of I. I got your bachelor's degree in '86, and then your law degree in '89. Correct? Yep. Now, it said some of the little research I was doing that you practiced around Chicago for a while before coming back here to start your own firm. But where exactly were you at in Chicago or at Chicago Lane?
In the area. I'm in the suburbs.
Okay.
I was up in Oak Brook for quite a bit of time. I always lived in Plainfield, so this is always home to me. But transferred to practice, started kind of from Oak Brook, started a part-time practice in Plainfield because I had a lot of local clients. And then with the electronic age, it's like, why am I driving to Oak Brook? So I made my office permanent here in 2005.
Right on. And you are, like you said, you're born and raised here, and you have a family farm in Plainfield. Yeah. Is that right?
Plainfield. Grew up on the farm. My family farms for now I was the third generation.
So that must. Okay, so that's something I'm interested in too, because I know some people who, grew up on a farm. But what would be maybe one of the strangest things that you ever had to like get used to being on a farm, but now are something that is like totally normal to you?
Well, I don't know if this is quite what the answer to your question, but the open space was different than what we're used to.
Okay.
Grew up on the farm, and my closest neighbor was about 3/4 mile away from us.
Oh yeah.
And if a thunderstorm was coming, you'd see it miles away. You could just see it sweep in, and that openness and the ability to see long distances, whereas you didn't have a fence or a house or anything next to you. So
perspective's a little different.
Yeah, it was a wide open feeling out there. That's a big change.
That's kind of a neat thing too, though, to kind of see the world coming at you in a way, like literally coming at you.
Yeah.
In the sense of a storm too, which is.
It used to be fun. I mean, I'm a storm watcher kind of guy, but I mean, we had a row of these large maple trees going west of our farmhouse for about 1/4 mile. And when a storm was rolling in, you'd see the wind hit the first tree while everything was still by you. Yeah. And you could just see that gust front coming. It was kind of cool seeing,
It is interesting when you catch, like, I like storms as well.
Yeah.
My dad kind of got me interested in that. Like, he would always be the one outside. My mom's like, get in. And he's like, it's fine, But it is interesting when you can start seeing the trees shake way out there, and then you realize it's starting to come towards you. It's like a dominoes kind of coming down a bit. Yeah. So a quick story, just to that point, I guess. I was playing at this place out in.
A few moments later.
I wanted to ask you about Ready, Set, Ride, which is a foundation that you do pro bono attorney work for. Can you tell me a little bit more about the importance of that to you and what they do?
It's a funny story how this happened. I really didn't know of Ready, Set, Ride. They are a therapeutic horse farm. They're 501c3 charitable. And what they do is they have special needs kids interact with the horses. They ride them, they feed them, they take care of them. It's right here in Plainfield. I didn't even know they existed. And they had a legal issue where they were renting their facility, and their landlord was going through a bankruptcy, and then he was trying to evict them. So there's a lot going on. And the way I got involved was a high school friend of mine posted on Facebook, tagged me in the post and said, Argoudelis, you're a lawyer, help these people. And I was like, oh, let me look into it. Yeah. So we actually worked together with them, and we were able to ultimately, they found a donor And I got the first T-shirt in 2020 from them that said, "We bought the farm." They were to buy the farm. They own the place now. They're awesome. Still doing great work out there, and now they don't have the worries of where they're going to be housed at.
That's
so it was kind of a cool story, but they're a great organization.
So it's like something that you never knew you were going to be a part of, but now are probably
very close friends, and we actually I'm working with them now. They might be involved in some festivals in town where they do pony rides and some fun stuff. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So a few questions about, I guess the downtown area here, particularly. I mean, and obviously Plainfield's bigger than just downtown.
Yes.
There's a lot of economic infrastructure and importance here, and a lot of it has to do with the local restaurant industry, because there are a lot of them down here. And I guess one of the first questions is how important is this industry here for Plainfield to its success being part of the future going forward for the city?
Well, I always say every town has its own vibe, and I've said this many times. We're not Naperville, we're not Joliet, we're not any other town. We're Plainfield. And one of the great things, we're very blessed that we have this old, quaint downtown with all these cool buildings with brick walls you can see behind us and things. And it's not a major highway. Route 30 was removed from the central part of the town years ago. And it allows all of these restaurants to exist. It becomes a great meeting place, not just for dining, but it's the heart of the town and the core of the town. And when we have all of these unique restaurants, these are not national or regional types of restaurants.
Right.
That exists on Route 59, and there's a place for that as well.
Sure.
But to come to this quiet core, quaint, off the main highway, and to have this great variety of food and drink is a great part of creating that vibe. This is the vibe of Plainfield.
Yeah.
I grew up, and this strip, as it's now called, the strip, it was called Uptown. That's where the Uptown name came from. And it was Uptown because the original business district was south of here, and it was moved uptown.
Okay.
So I grew up, it was called Uptown. But now I see, in the more modern age, all the younger people that work in the restaurant industry where they call it the strip. And this is the strip. And you can get sushi, you can get Cajun, and a great hamburger.
And everything is owned by somebody. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not corporate.
Yeah.
And that makes it great and unique. And people, we want that. We all want that.
Yeah.
We all want that special, unique place that's owned by private individuals where you can come in and see the person and say, "Hey, Jamie, how are you doing?"
You get I think you definitely get a different kind of, not service isn't the right word, but you get a different kind of attention given to you as a customer by somebody who knows that their whole business is built on you and the people like you come in from the area that they're in.
The people that have been here and almost everybody has survived is because they've worked very, very hard. They've brought quality product. They brought that great service and that great personal touch. And I think that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, 100%.
The personal touch of knowing the owners and knowing their dedication and their zeal for what they do.
Yeah.
Well, we also came here to eat, and I decided to get some seafood jambalaya because I figured I might as well take a nap in the middle of the day. Our mayor decided he would eat a little more healthy, a little lighter as well, and got these seafood skewers. Also, we're now joined by Jamie Littell, the owner of Moe Joe's, and we sat down and just had some food and chatted a little bit.
What's that? Jamie fell down a well?
I know, right? So they go in the bar. Jamie's in trouble. There's like 30 people.
Price rise. Just like a little synopsis.
Okay.
Like I kind of know already, but I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when Charlie's blind chef Charlie, his vision goggles were stolen, we got him his first pair. And they changed. It was a game changer for him.
Oh.
So then when we got him, we had a party going on here and someone had stolen his pair. He was super sad.
I remember that.
And all I did was post on social media, if anyone had seen them, because I figured someone thought they were a VR headset and they'd return them, which no one ever did. But there was everybody was so concerned in this town. So everyone just kept texting me and messaging me, "Can we give him money? Can we give him money?" Now Charlie, with his, really huge amount of pride, he did not want to take a handout. So we started with key lime pie season was almost upon us. They're really popular. I'm like, why don't we make key lime pies and all the profit we'll give to you and you can make them, Charlie. We'll just help you. Well, it ended up going crazy and everybody showed up to buy these pies and we end up having enough money raising from these pies not to just buy him a new pair, but 3 children.
Oh,
You're
you bought him 3 children.
We bought 3. Well, we bought 3 children.
I mean, I suppose that could make anyone happy, you know, but thank you.
Give me your children. We bought the children the goggles.
Got it.
That was awesome.
That was a really. I saw some of the video from when that happened, and it was really cool to, you know, it was, you know, a lot like when you've seen some things like that, some videos that flow around on social media of like somebody getting to hear for the first time or see for the first time. A lot of that kind of feeling because they hadn't really experienced anything like that.
Did you see the video of the kids eating for the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I was like, that was just, it's a really cool thing to see somebody experience something. You know, senses, we're all born with 5 of them typically, and sometimes you lose one, sometimes you don't have one to begin with. But it's really crazy to see how important they really are when you see somebody get to experience one that they've never had the opportunity to. In that moment, it's just like it's like a rush of just every emotion. I can only imagine. I mean, just seeing how they react. You know, you can.
Oh, we were all the little girl that never saw her parents. But she was also deaf, so she couldn't communicate at all because being deaf and blind, she couldn't learn the sign language. Seeing her see her parents for the first time, I mean, the whole place just...
So how do you do the key lime pies? You sell the whole pies? You
and the whole amount. Yeah, we sell them here. We make them.
Buy a pie to go?
Make them from scratch. And they buy them to go. They eat them when they're here. It's the whole pie, not just a piece.
And when is that?
We usually start it around Mother's Day. And because everybody buys them for their moms.
You do it for like a week or something like that?
Yeah, for a week. And it goes crazy because we never want to see a lime again for like almost a year. I was so sick of limes last time.
Big thank you to Mayor John Argoudelis for sitting down with me and talking to me for a while and having lunch. It was amazing. Also, big thank you to Jamie and everyone at Moe Joe's for letting me come in and steal your corner for a little while. Thank you guys so much. If you have a chance and you're in the Plainfield area and you haven't been to Moe Joe's, go try it. It's outstanding. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you next time.